Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the first World of Savage World Thundercat figures from Funko. So Funko's been making this line called Savage World. The first ones they did, I believe, were Mortal Kombat, then followed by a line of like horror movie monsters like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, etc. So they do this what they call barbarian style, which is like a non-copyright way of saying He-Man figures from Mattel back in the 80s. So they have basically the same kind of muscular stature, same basic articulation points, things like that. And ever since I heard these were announced, I was very excited to pick these up. I was a big fan of Thundercats as a kid. Didn't really have many of the original toys growing up. I had a lot of He-Man figures, and for some reason, I guess as a kid, I always kind of associated He-Man and Thundercats together. I don't really know why. Usually when I was growing up, all your friends were into either one or the other. There weren't too many people that collected like both lines entirely. So I don't know. I had a lot of friends that liked Thundercats. I had friends that liked He-Man, but I always liked both. And I think this is a really cool marriage of the He-Man style with the Thundercat character. So I'm really excited for this. But just to take a look at this packaging, you can see it's done in the original Masters of the Universe style, where you have the tall, slender card with the big bubble on top with the figure. I love this artwork. I feel like this artwork is definitely reminiscent of the artwork that was done for the 2011 cartoon, at least for Slythe. The others are kind of just cool artwork, but he really looks like what I remember him looking in that cartoon. But taking a look on the back here, you can see this is all of Wave 1. Wave 2 says coming soon, Tigra, Chitara, Monkian, and Jackalman, which is really, really cool. I definitely want to pick up all of those as well. And I'm hoping if these continue to do well, we'll just have them keep going and keep making more and more characters. Here is Panthro. Really look fun. I mean, the back of the packaging is the same for everybody, so I'm not going to bother showing that off anymore. But Mumra, Lino, let's get these guys out of the packaging. I can't wait. This is going to be really fun. Let's take a closer look. So I'm really excited. These are a lot of fun. From the packaging, I was afraid they looked a little cheap, but once you feel them in hand, they're really not. They're really hard, solid figures. You have a head articulation here. You have the shoulder articulation here. And for some reason, his arm feels like it's stuck, but I think it can keep going, but I don't want to break it, so. You have a waist articulation, and then you have, I believe, the legs are on a ball joint. Each leg is on a ball joint. So you only have, 6 points of articulation, but it really works. Thundercat symbol looks great. All the paint is really nice. The Sword of Omens looks fantastic. I wish the Eye of Thundera was a little larger. I feel like it looks a little too small in the hilt of the sword there. But other than that, really very cool. He holds the sword very nicely. The gauntlet here you can take off, and it just clips over top of his hand. I would have loved it if they had a way to clip it onto, like, because he sometimes wears it on his waist, but I completely understand. So you can see the paint just kind of like fades in, just like how it is on the show. It's really, really cool. They did a great job with these. And then you just clip this back over top like that. Next up we have Panthro. He was always one of my favorites as a kid, and I think he looks fantastic here. Again, Thundercat symbol on his belt here, very clean, looks great. Get a close-up at some of these face sculpts. And they all have all the same articulation, but his spikes actually pretty pointy, painted nicely. He comes with one nunchuck, and it's kind of a softer plastic, like the handles are harder plastic, but the chain is a little bit softer. So you could, it doesn't really swing, but you can kind of pull it. Unfortunately, because of the way his hands are, you can't really have it and hold one in each hand, unfortunately. But he still looks great. And you have all the molded in detail, just like the original toy. Really, really, really well done. Just looks really sharp, and like I said, all the paint applications are really nice. Next up, we have Mumra, and I think he looks great. The original toy didn't really have a cape, and this one has a really nice, soft rubber molded cape. Not to mention the headdress that the original Mumra toy came with was like a solid chunk of red plastic, and it would fall off and get lost all the time. So this is all molded in. He even comes with the Sword of Plundar. He's got, bandages molded in all around. He's got all the same articulation points. The detail here on his kind of like shin gauntlets or whatever you would call them looks great. So another really well done figure. And the cape doesn't really get in the way of articulation at all because of how the figure is built. So it just looks fantastic. Really happy with him. And last but not least, we have Slythe. Probably the least exciting one of the wave. For some reason, he was a couple dollars cheaper than everyone else, but I like him. I think he looks good. You can see very basic axe that he comes with, but again, fits in his hand very nice and tightly, not going anywhere. He's got all the same articulation points that everyone else has. He's got this kind of grass skirt, which is kind of a softer plastic. The tail is molded in, that has no articulation, but the legs move like everybody else's. So I could not be more thrilled with these. It's really fun to get some new Thundercat toys done in the retro style, especially made like He-Man figures. I don't know, it's a stroke of brilliance. I love it. I cannot wait to get more of these. There's another line in the same style from Savage World Funko where it's going to be a reimagining of some DC characters called Primal Age. And with that, we're getting a Batcave that's very similar to Castle Grayskull. Kind of an homage, but it's the Batcave. It's a really neat idea. If those sell well, I'm really hoping that one day we could see a Cat Slayer for these guys, and I would not hesitate at all to pick that up. It would be amazing. Even if they could do some vehicles for these, like Thunder Tank, literally anything they wanted to do, I'm all in for these. I think they're super fun. If you can find them, I highly recommend them. If you're a fan of He-Man style figures, Thundercats in general, both, obviously these are a slam dunk. They're super fun. And the nice thing is they're not too pricey. They're anywhere between like $15 and $10 a piece, depending on where you buy them. I got these at GameStop, and they were, I think, $11.99. The ones on Amazon that I've seen are $14.99, but I think they're sold out presently. So there's the two places that I would check. I don't really know of anywhere else that's selling them as of yet, but I would definitely check Amazon and your local GameStop. They're a lot of fun. I like them quite a bit. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.